What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the round 2 Showdown show. I got my guy Drew with me this week. We're going to break down round 2 of the Quail Hollow event here, the Wells Fargo Championship here. Interesting first day here. A lot of bigger names played well. Some guys struggled early and battled back late. And then we had some of the, I think the majority of the plays we had talked up on the shows actually played pretty well today. A couple of my soldiers, they all fared well today. Hopefully they can keep it rolling tomorrow. Drew, how's your first round looking in all your teams and such going in?
Yeah, to be honest, it was looking rough there. It looked great early in the morning. Guys got off to a good start. Obviously, Cantley played it solid as he does. Taylor Moore had a good start. There's some other cheap guy I had as well. And then the afternoon hit. And we have Hovland chalk and Cameron Young chalk. And both are just completely sucking. And they came back a little bit. So they're not out of it yet. And honestly, be an interesting showdown target for tomorrow. But for my full week teams, definitely would be nice if I'm gonna play some chalk. They definitely need to make the cut. And I can't allow Big T to have an upper hand on me on the fifth week of the year for me. So I need the chalk to come through a bit. But yeah, it was a little bit sketchy there for a while.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be interesting with this next round, as a lot of the guys that kind of didn't play as well, at least at the top of the board at 9K and up, besides Rory, Cantley, and Xander, a few of them are going to be in the prime position to rebound tomorrow, and they go out early, which we generally lean to the AM guys a little bit since they see the softer conditions, the overall better conditions. But then, Drew, I'll let you talk about what we talked about pre-show. Maybe a possible tidbit there for the PM guys.
Yeah, I'll have to pull up the stat really quick. Let's see here. So the AM wave was at a 72.21 stroke average. PM wave was 71.31. So usually that's flipped for DFS or for PGA Tour golf in general. The lower rounds typically come from the AM wave. So my thought and my theory here is we know Quail Hollow is super long, so it's like 75-50 on the scorecard. My guess is it dried out a little bit. So all the times we talk about AM, it's a little bit softer and guys can hit approaches and have some better chances of some birdies. I think they actually got some firmer conditions in the afternoon and had some shorter approaches. So take that for what you will. We're only one round in. I don't recall what it was like a couple years ago, and I have not gone back to look, but it's interesting. I just wanted to point out that PM wave was actually a lower stroke average than the AM wave, which is completely opposite. So maybe that just broadens the pool where AM, PM doesn't matter. But there isn't, if everyone's just going to jam AM to a certain extent, PM might be the slight, let's just call it a one-stroke leverage spot that we can gain on 6 guys. That might be enough to mint cash for me. So, but it's interesting. The course is super long, so I could definitely see that playing out. That like the firmer it gets, the easier it is from a approach standpoint. They have the drives roll out an extra 10 yards or so, and it makes a big difference on some of these approaches. So that's my theory, but statistically, yes, PM wave did shoot lower than the AM wave.
Yeah, I like that for tomorrow too, and kind of hit on the weather a little bit. I was just checking it out. It looks like it's going to be another great day for golf out there tomorrow. The winds are going to be under 10 miles an hour, mainly in like the 3 to 5 mile an hour range for the majority of the day, it looks like. So scoring conditions should be optimal tomorrow for these golfers. And as you're coming into the show, please hit the like and subscribe. It really helps us bring these free shows to you guys. So hit the like, subscribe. We can jump into, we'll go DK salary here. You just want to hit on these first 3 guys up top if you have any interest in them. Only one of them is going out early with Xander at 7 o'clock, and the other 2 are going to go out a little later. They all 3 played well today, 3 under, 4 under, and 5 under, as Xander actually was at 7 under and made a couple bogeys late, I think on 16 and 18. Any interest for you up top here with this 10K range?
Yeah, they all played pretty well, and they're all going to be near the top of the leaderboard, so it's kind of hard to shy away from them because they played well enough. Xander sticks out quite a bit. So you mentioned he kind of stumbled coming in, but his approach game looked great. Off the tee looked great, and he goes off early. So, again, take what I just said 1.5 minutes ago aside. He is teeing off bright and early in the morning, should have some nice soft greens to play to. And like I said, I shared this a little bit with Snyder before we started the show. So I'm looking at like different proximities on this golf course. Xander had 6 shots inside of 18 feet, and he only made 1 putt from inside of 18 feet on the par 4s and par 3s. And then Patrick Cantlay made 3 of the 6 that he had. So either of those 2 are good targets. I'll lean Xander just a bit. And he, like you said, he tees off bright and early. You'll kind of know where you stand when you wake up. And across the board, everything looked good. Driving distance looked good. Driving accuracy looked good. Greens and regulation looked good. Like, the dude played stellar golf. If that continues, I foresee him winning this golf tournament. And round 2 showdown would be a nice way for him to get a low one and capitalize for my DFS lineup. So I'll let you fill in what you think there.
Yeah, if I was going to play anyone, I think it would probably be Xander here. I kind of generally have a thing with Rory. If he starts out fast over like the last couple of years, I know he always battles back on the weekend, but if he starts out strong one of the 2 days, it kind of seems like he kind of goes up and down the other way. So I think I'm going to be off of Rory tomorrow. I'd rather play the guys in the 9K range. I think that 9K range is pretty stacked. So yeah, this is going to be Xander for me here at the top here at 7:23 a.m. on that tee time. I do have quite a bit of conviction on these 9K guys. I think you could jam in potentially three of them at least in teams here, which is kind of going to be the main route I'm looking to go for here. I don't think I'm going to get to my guy Morikawa, though. I mean, that dude just hurt my feelings at all. I mean, he starts out great, shoots like 2 under at the first 7 holes, and then he gets to the back 9. I think he had like three putts, and it was just a disaster. I think he shot 40 on the back 9. It was just absolutely hurtful. After finally getting – I haven't really been playing him as much when he's been projected to be like right around 20%, but this week he's under 10%, and I think I had like right around 40% of him, so that's definitely hurtful. He's going to need a low one tomorrow to make the cut, but I don't think I'll go back to him. What happened to Spieth? I was just going to pull up Spieth. He was doing good for a while. Did he get in trouble there? I seen he was on 18. It looked like he was going to the water. Yeah, he must have. He took a triple on 18 then to finish 1 over. So that's a guy maybe I could go back to.
He didn't drive the ball very well, so that's my biggest issue for him. And like to start the week, I didn't think driving accuracy was necessarily that bad, but between him and Cameron Young, they both really kind of struggled off the tee, and that's why their approach numbers look pretty bad in my opinion. So conversely to you, I do think I'm going to go back to Morikawa tomorrow. I like the play there, going back to a guy that's again playing off it early in the morning. We'll take it for what it's worth. Approach numbers do look good besides his finish there. So the 2 guys that I want to go to mainly Morikawa and Victor Hovland gets a huge price jump. And he obviously played pretty well, all things considered. He got off to a terrible start. Back 9 was decent. Strokes gain numbers are pretty good off the tee and on approach, but still like the approach numbers, even besides that, are really good. 5 shots inside of 18 feet. 3 shots inside of 12 feet. So all things considered, he's one of the better guys that had birdie looks today. Really good off the tee, which was like my big thing this week in general. And at 9,600, like if I'm going to fade anyone over 10K, Victor Hovland would be the guy that I would start with there. I think Homa's interesting. He's fine. His approach numbers don't look good on strokes gained, but I think he actually had, a decent number of decent birdie looks. So those are the 3 guys that I'm really targeting for tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. I think my number 1 would be, it's tough. I think I'm going to go with Cameron Young to bounce back though tomorrow. He kind of battled back at the end of that round to 9,200. I think that's a fair price. I was overweight on him as well.
Yeah, me too. I mean, and it's like a catch-22 because like you're already overweight, and it's like if he does really well tomorrow, it helps all my other teams. And if he sucks, I don't also want to double down on my showdown teams with him. So I kind of get both sides of the coin. To me, I think there's preferences for like a Morikawa. Like to me, he does stand out. But I get it. Like I definitely get it. If you like guys earlier in the week, like a Cameron Young, to play really well this week and possibly win or contend at least, you go back to the same guys. I definitely get that point. So to me, I'm just narrowed down to those 3. But yeah, I can get behind the Cameron Young call because like I said, I say this every week in Showdown. If you liked him on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, there's no reason a first round debauchery or third or second round debauchery. Like, play him again. Play him again.
Yeah.
He's probably going to come through, assuming he gets through the cut.
Do you think JT actually found something with the putter now? This kind of reminds me of it was 2 or 3 events ago where he came out strong with the putter, actually gained over a stroke the first day, and then the next 3 days it was just more of the same. I'm not sure I'm sold on him, but I definitely think he's still very underpriced. I mean, he's an elite a play at that price tag though for his talent level.
He is. I think he's fine. I don't have a really hot take on him. Obviously, it's kind of a wait and see approach because he has been pretty sketchy with his putter and even around the green in some events. So, like I told Big TS last night, the ball striking there is good. Like, the underlying stats for him to play well is there. It's just a matter of getting the putter to turn around. So, if you want to chase today's round with the putter, which he gained a bit on, that's totally fine. I mean, maybe he did turn a corner, and he has played well here at Quail Hall in the past too. Like, he won the PGA Championship here. So I think there's some good vibes from Justin Thomas. And to your point, he is underpriced. At $9K, you look at the next string of guys like Sung J M, Matt Fitzpatrick, Ricky Fowler. Yeah, Justin Thomas shouldn't be 100 or 200, 300 more than him, or them, I should say.
Yeah, for sure. We can kind of dive into this 8K range. And the one guy I thought was going to get some steam, but I was actually surprised how much steam he got or how high he was owned once the cards were flipped over this morning. That's Sahith Theegala at 8,500. I mean, he played great today, 4 under round for him there. Pretty much did it all with all facets of the game too. What's your thoughts as we kind of lead into this 8K range with Sahith tomorrow? Did you expect to see him that highly owned? I thought he would be maybe approach 15%, but certainly not quite that high.
Yeah, so like he was talked up in like different corners of the DFS sphere, if you will. Like I heard different people bring him up, and I just kind of brushed it off. Like, yeah, I mean, he's been playing good, he's been finishing well, but like it's still Sahith Theegala in a decent field. This isn't like a crazy good elevated event. But yeah, a lot of people brought him up as a play. I did not think he would get steamed to be that highly owned. I think he gets steamed again tomorrow. So I'll probably be off Sahith. I wasn't really on him to start the week. Like, I thought he was okay in cash. Like, I could see him working out. I just didn't like him in GPPs. So I'm also kind of biased in that regard. Like, if I'm going to be off someone, I'll just stay off of them until maybe the final round. Like, if the dude's leading by 3 on Sunday, maybe I'll jump aboard finally. But yeah, he did play great. He played solid. I do think his ownership gets a little bit higher than what I would want to play Sahith Theegala at. Like, the dude's a low owned type of play, in my opinion. Like, the guy could shoot 75 or 65, and I want to get him at like 10% or 6%, not 17 or 22%. So yeah, that's my take on Sahith. Hopefully he continues to play good. Not really, but he did play really well today. To your point, he did it in all facets. Like, I saw him make a couple 25 or 30 footers. Like, the dude was like firing on all cylinders. So I don't see that continuing tomorrow. And the dude does have the 75 in his bag. Like, he could go from hot to cold pretty quick. So long rant there. Theegala could hurt me this week, so I'm just preparing myself. But yeah, for Showdown, I'll just wait and see what he does tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to be off of him as well. The one chalk guy I think I will play in this range is going to be our guy, Mr. Ham, Wyndham Clark. He just continues to just play some just excellent golf. I mean, he's doing it tee to green and everything. It kind of looked a little worrisome early. He started out 1 over through 6, and I was kind of wavering a little bit, but then he just rattles off 4 straight birdies and then gets her rolling. He was at 5 under for a while, but gave one back on 16 due to the putter. But I really like Wyndham tomorrow, still at 8,100. I think that's a fair price. And the other guy I would probably go to in this range, I'm not going to play Fowler there. I wasn't going to play him originally at that price tag. I thought that was a little maybe too much for that. I like playing him in that 7K range, but he's right there at even par. He's still got a really good chance to do something in this event. The other guy I may look to here is probably Keith Mitchell, another guy I was overweight on coming into the week, 2 under round. He played all right. I don't think he played great at all today, but he was able to get in with a 2-under round. So I really like going back to Mitchell at 8K. I think that's a good price tag for him. It's a little bit up from where he was main slate, but that's fine.
Yeah, so I love this. I love this range. Like the big fades for me, like the Gall is just kind of a bias. Like I wasn't on him to start the week. I'm not going to just jump aboard after one good round. But Sam Burns and Jason Day are the two like main fades for me tomorrow. All the other guys at the low range, to your point, like Wyndham Clark, yeah, played really solid, turned it around. A lot of guys started off rough through 2 holes, and they kept it going or kept it together into the back 9. So Wyndham Clark is fine. Tom Kim I like quite a bit. I really don't hate going back to Fleetwood if you're playing, single entry or 3 max contests. I don't know if his ownership will necessarily get steamed up. I generally don't play the guy that's the first round leader, but the dude played really solid today. And I wouldn't mind him being in my player pool for tomorrow. Like the dude at 8K, he's not like 10K. This isn't like Scheffler with a first round lead. Like at 8K, there's quite a bit of wiggle room for him to shoot, 3 under, 2 under even maybe tomorrow, who knows, and still be in an optimal lineup. So I'm with you. Tom Kim, Wyndham Clark, and Fleetwood to round it out. And Mitchell is fine too. Mitchell played really well. I have a good bit of exposure to him for the week, and I'll probably pass on him tomorrow, but I'm rooting for him nonetheless.
Definitely there. I typically pretty much, unless it's a guy like Scott, a well-known golfer, a guy that I think can not be bothered by the first round lead, I generally click them out of my player pool. So I think I may have to X Fleetwood tomorrow, but I mean, I can definitely see the case.
Just from the price standpoint, like it's more of like he's more of like a not a fade than a play. Like to me, I think Sam Burns and Jason Day are the guys that I would avoid, and Tommy Fleetwood, even though he's the first round leader, it wouldn't be someone I would just automatically X out just because he's the first round leader. He could just as well go and shoot 6 under tomorrow. He could shoot 6 under, be first round lead, shoot 6 under, and have a 3-shot lead tomorrow. Like it just can work out that way. But at 8K, I think there's just a lot of wiggle room. And the dude did play well. So like all things aside, if he shot 3 shots worse, you'd probably play him tomorrow. He shot 6 under. I don't think I'm going to throw everything out the window. So that's really my reasoning there. And I don't see anyone else in this range that really looks like a hard hitter.
Yeah, same here. I think we pretty much covered that well. We can head into the 7K range. There's a lot of good options down here. A few of the guys I didn't play on the main slate, but a few of my, at least one of my soldiers is down here. 2 of them I see now. JJ Spawn at 7,200, shot 3 under. And then Grillo was solid today. He's 7,600, 4 under. I don't mind going right back to him. I mean, Grillo's got such good birdie upside. Yeah, he's going to make a couple birdies like he did today, but I think he's going to make 4 to 6 birdies about every day. It just depends if the big numbers come with that or not. So I'm fine going back to him. He was good with the approach. And actually, like I said, those last 3 events, he's actually found something with the putter, and he gained again today with the putter. So he's generally a guy, just looking back to last year, and I think parts of 21 were like to end 2022, he was terrible with putting all throughout the summer, and then gets to the end, and it was like 6 straight events where he found something. I think he may have been on that same pathway here. So I like going back to him at 76. Taylor Moore is another guy we were on. I think everybody on RPS was kind of talking him up. He played great today, 500. Goes out in the afternoon tomorrow. Keegan Bradley's fine. He goes out early. I always put Keegan in the Showdown playbook just because you never know what you're going to get.
You never know. He could shoot 63 when the scoring average is 73. He's just all over the place. Never makes sense.
Yeah. But that's the main guys I'm kind of looking for here. The Adam Scott, you were talking about, you were talking up Gary Woodland. He played great until the last 3 holes where he kind of gave 2 or 3 back there, which is horrible. And then were you on the Adam Scott play there? I know he kind of got steamed up. I never got to him, but
I can't imagine him getting steamed up. Besides, Big T mentioned him at about 10:08 last night, and maybe that's when he got steamed up. But I wasn't. I mean, he's been terrible. You can pull up his game logs. Like the dude sucked. Yeah. He sucked all year. So shout out to Big T, I guess, if Adam Scott holds on. But he did look good. I think he's okay for tomorrow. There's other guys I like better. Like I want to go to Grillo. I want to go to Hayden Buckley. I want to go back to Woodland. like the guys that I was kind of on to start the week, I think, and did play well, are fine. Taylor Moore, I will mention, like he played decent tee to green. He did putt a little bit hot, and I'll probably fade that if people chase it. Like you said, we liked him. We liked him at RPS for the week. Like he was a really good low-owned target. But for Showdown, like my main guys, man, Grillo and Buckley look like the guys I really want to target. If they can drive it a little bit straighter, they're going to be in fuego, I think, especially Buckley. So it's not super penalizing rough, but man, if you could just have an iron in your hands from the fairway instead of the rough, and two more holes, they're going to have some really good opportunities, and they already did. So those are good ones. I think Chris Kirk is okay. Doesn't look too bad. I know his stroke gain approach doesn't look good, but the dude at 7,600, he's been playing really good golf. Off the tee is strong. Honestly, he's above the field average in distance, which is surprising for Chris Kirk. And then I think that's pretty much it for this high range.
Do you have any thoughts on Cameron Davis? I had a decent amount of him coming in just because I thought he was going to be lower owned. He was playing great until he got to hole 15 and he took a double on that par 5, which is something you absolutely cannot do on this course.
He's a great Showdown target. His putting is not cooperating. He had a stint there earlier in the year. Apparently he got sick and whatever, but he does look to be playing pretty well. And like I said, driving is a big factor for me. He drove it really well. He looks like he had a ton of approaches, 5 inside of 18 feet today, and he only made one of them. So yeah, Cam Davis would definitely be a good Showdown target for tomorrow. And to be honest, like the more I think about this, like, yeah, I want to play, some of the expensive guys like a Morikawa or a Schauffele or something. But like the more I look at this 8 and 7K range, like you could just litter this in GPPs, man, and you could have a lot of 3, 4, 5, 6 under par equity in every single guy. So yeah, those are. There's a lot of good names here. It's just basically kind of avoiding the landmines.
Yeah, I haven't tried to build anything, but I think my pathway is going to be just kind of 1 or 2 in the 9K range, add a couple of the low 8K guys, and just kind of mix and mash some of these 7K upside guys. I think that's a really good pathway to possibly shipping something tomorrow. Yeah,
because there's a few guys in the 6K that stand out for me, which we'll get to, but for the most part, like the low 7s is kind of dead. The high 6s is kind of dead. So it's either like boom or bust, stars and studs, or just kind of balance builds, and you'll probably do pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. We can kind of dive into the 6K range then. But if you haven't yet, make sure to hit the like, subscribe. Really helps bring this stuff to you for free. And then if you head on over to Run Pure Sports, you're going to see like we've got SaberSim. That's a partner for us. I pull up Saber right now. You've got everything you need for the Showdown. You've got the player, the salary, the tee time, the score, the position, projections. You can type in your min max that you want. You can set your own ownership there. So I think SaberSim is kind of building one of the best optimizers, not only for the industry, but especially for Showdown golf. I actually like it quite a bit for the golf product that they've continued to evolve over the last year. Really think that's one of the key things that I really have grown accustomed to with Saber, and that their MLB product is absolutely bar none. You could say it's the best in the industry as well. I mean, it's been on fire here to start the MLB season. It's all sports, one price. Use that promo code Snyder15. Or do you have one yet, Drew? Drew 15?
I don't have one yet. No, I don't have one yet.
We'll have to get you on there. But all sports, one price. Join the movement. We're going to keep crushing these NBA playoffs. Bobby's been on fire there. And for the Showdown content you'll get here at Run Pure Sports, you're going to get the core plays. We're going to have 4 or 5 core plays. We're going to have a playbook in there with the expensive tier, the mid tier, and the cheaper tier. Then a slate strategy at the bottom, and the core plays will be on there as well. And then we're always in Discord asking questions leading up to the lock. So get on over and join the movement. But we can dive into this 6K range now. Drew, what are your favorite targets down here? I don't see that much that I want to try and fit in here, but there are definitely a few targets down here I think that are worthy.
Yeah, let me just answer one of the questions in the chat from Justin. He says stars and studs or stars and scrubs. To be honest, it's just like whatever slips out. It's either or to me. It's whatever gibberish I can speak at the moment. Yeah, stars and scrubs, it's actually oh man, what is it? Something in duds is another one. What's the other one? Oh shoot, I'm gonna forget it. But yeah, we'll go with stars and scrubs. I mean, technically that's probably more accurate. So my apologies. And yes, I do have an American flag made of golf balls and golf clubs in the background. Shout out to my wife for making that work. The background was pretty bad. All right, so for the 6K range, a couple guys that stand out to me in the high range. So Sam Stevens and Nick Hardy are guys that I think do really well in these longer golf courses. Sam Stevens, really still kind of unknown even to me, has played really well in the alternate field events that he's gotten into. I think he has actually temporary memberships of the PGA Tour based on how good he played at the Honda and then Puerto Rico, maybe Punta Cana as well. So I think he's an interesting play there at 6K. Nick Hardy played really well today. I like his numbers. He had 6 shots inside of 18 feet, 5 inside of 12 feet, and he only made 1 inside of 6 feet all day. Only 1 inside of 6 feet all day as far as his birdie looks. So I think Nick Hardy's really interesting. Trey Mullinax played really solid. He only shot 1 under, but looking through his numbers here, drove it pretty well off the tee. He made a decent number of putts, so I think he was just all over the place. So you're basically hoping for him to clean up the bogeys and have a decent round tomorrow. I don't know. Do you want me to go to the low sixes? I just got a couple guys I can rattle off really quick, and then we can let you fill it in. Ryan Moore at 4 over par. I might have a couple. If I go really stars and studs, we'll call it stars and studs. If I go really heavy on Shoffley, Moore, Cal, Cameron Young. So we got 3 guys over 9K. I might have to dip down here. I think Ryan Moore would be an interesting one at 0.5% ownership. And then we'll call Martin Laird at 6,300, another guy that looked pretty well today. So those are really the guys that I'm looking at for the most part. I'm not super interested in guys that, I don't think any of these guys are going to get a ton of ownership anyways. Like Jason Duffner's not going to get a ton. Ryan Palmer, even though he shot 500 today, I don't expect him to get a ton of ownership. If he does, he wasn't even on my radar, so I'm happy to fade that. But, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at for this 6K range. It's really like the high sixes, and then just if I want to be super aggressive, I'll rattle it off down at the bottom.
Yeah, I agree with you there. We finally had the blow-up Ben Martin round. I mean, he's been playing so good to start the year. Finally comes out and just shoots damn near an 80 today. I think it was 79 or something like that.
It's like the absolute worst course for him. The dude has been playing good, but at 7,500 yards, there's no way. There's just no way.
Yeah, I knew it had to be coming.
It's terrible.
But some of the guys I like here, I kind of like Cameron Champ for tournaments a lot tomorrow. I mean, he can just nuke it off the tee. He was great off the tee today. The irons weren't the greatest for him today, but he mixed in 4 birdies with 3 bogeys. I think he's a guy that can go out there and make 4 to 6 birdies again tomorrow. So I'm kind of high on him at 6,700. I like my guy Michael Kim right there. He played really well today, 3 under for him. He was a soldier. And he's been playing well as of late. Had 1 bogey today to 4 birdies. Was pretty good across the board today. Really, his best attribute was off the tee and with the flat stick. So you love to see that. Probably go to him again. There's not too much here. I'm going to try in my builds, I think, in that 7K range if possible. Like a Troy Merritt maybe is a low price if I need a punt down there, 6,300. I think he's an interesting showdown play at times. He's got some pretty good birdie upside. But I don't see Sam Stevens is fine, like you mentioned. I can definitely get there. S.H. Kim is kind of a showdown target I like to go after sometimes. He's got pretty good high birdie upside. I think he's fine. But that's pretty much it. I mean, maybe some Robbie Shelton or Harry Hall if I was going at the top at 6,900. I think they're fine. Your guy Daffy's 1 under at 6,800.
Kramer Hickok played pretty good tee to green as well.
Yeah.
I think honestly in this situation, like the cheap guys, like if you chase some of the good rounds, assuming like some of the like they didn't gain like 20 strokes putting, like they're probably decent targets in GPP pools. Like if you're gonna fill out a player pool for like 20 max or more, they're probably worth keeping in if they're gonna keep it going. Because most of their underlying side, I'm just kind of browsing it really quick. I don't see any of these guys that really like fluked like a 3 or 4 under par round. So they're all like in play. I guess Matthew Neesmith I probably wouldn't play, but apart from that, all these guys that played well today are probably just in play in general. I saw one of the comments talk about a core for like a 3 max. I'm happy to do like a couple guys if you want, Snyder. Because I wouldn't be playing a 6K guy in a single entry core.
Yeah, for sure.
So it may provide some context. And again, it's a free show, but I think it would help for some of the guys.
Definitely, we can do that
to get it.
I just noticed our guy Toasty from last week had to struggle here. I mean, last week was a Toasty event. This week a little maybe over his skis, but pretty much was the irons too. He looked like he was good off the tee, but yeah, it happens.
The dude doesn't look good on YouTube, but he does play real good golf in real life. So I'm not sure. I'm still like on the fence on him, to be honest. Like obviously Big T was all over him last week, and he raked in the giblets for having Fino and Rom and Toasty. But I mean the dude looks really consistent. Obviously has been consistent on the Korn Ferry Tour. But we'll let one bad round slide. We'll see what he does tomorrow, and play it from there. But good call on Toasty last week, and on terrible call I guess so far this week.
Yeah, he was a soldier last week for me as well, but I didn't get back to him this week. I guess kind of luckily, but you want to kind of build out a little core here for the people then, or?
Yeah, I can. So like the first guy, I usually start from the bottom up and just kind of have an idea in my head of who the spin ups would be. I think Grillo is like a perfect medium cheap range guy that I want to target. So I don't know if you like to go back and forth. I think Kurt mentioned you like to kind of ham and egg it a little bit.
Doesn't matter.
But
I like the Grillo call there for sure.
Just from like if you're gonna, I don't know. For me, if I'm building a single entry team, I kind of want my expensive guy to be the last plug, because I would hate to get up to plug in Xander or some other expensive guy and then have like 7,200 left, and then just like go through everybody and like, dude, there's nobody unless I leave like $700 on the table. There's nobody I want to play here. And then I got to rework somebody else, and that never works out. So I just like kind of like starting from like the value range. And Grillo, I think, is an easy like first in target for at his price for a floor. It looks pretty good, and there's obviously a ceiling there if he continues, his putting and his approach numbers today.
I think I'm going to go right back to Wyndham Clark then for the second guy, 8,100. I think that's a great price. I think he could shoot another 400 tomorrow really easily.
Yeah. Love that call. Yeah, and that leaves a ton of salary for someone to go back and forth. So I guess we probably should agree on some spend up. Is it going to be Xander? Are we going to spend up on Xander? Or do you want to spend up on Xander? You kind of like Young, and I kind of like Morikawa, so we probably won't agree there. But
I mean, you can always talk me into playing Morikawa. I mean,
the Morikawa numbers look great, dude. I mean, the Morikawa numbers are where it's at.
He made me a ton of money right when he first came on tour. Nobody was playing him or anything. I mean, that was him and Hovland both kind of came on at the same time. And I just was playing Morikawa every week there for the first couple of years, and it was just like a complete printer.
I think for single entry, I don't mind Morikawa, and he's honestly pretty cheap. Both him and Young are still pretty cheap. For single entry, I would probably play Xander.
Yeah, that's cool. Xander's good.
At 7:23 in the morning, get them off early, let them shoot 500 again, and that's your core. I think that's a pretty good starting point.
I think that's great there. Xander, Wyndham, and Grillo there. It's a great starting point. Leaves you enough flexibility to kind of mix and match the last three guys, whether you want to try and jam in a 9K guy with that, or go kind of even build there the rest of the way there. But I think we pretty much covered everything today pretty well. Any final thoughts for you, Drew, as we kind of get out of here?
No, I don't think so. I mean, this is shaping up to be a pretty jam-packed leaderboard. So we'll see if there's any separation tomorrow. But as it stands right now, I mean, tomorrow's show should be really interesting if we're gonna have like 30 guys within like 3 shots of the lead. But yeah, we'll see how the course plays. I love this golf course, so it's just fun to watch in general. But yeah, any final thoughts from you, I guess, because I'm pretty much just excited for some good golf versus the Mexico Open, in my opinion.
I am definitely ready for this event. It's good to see some names up near the top. I think we're going to see more of these guys. The cream's going to kind of rise the next few days. What do you think the cut line's going to be here tomorrow? I kind of think it's going to be. I think it could be even par, actually.
Yeah, I would have said -1, but it could be even. I haven't even looked at it, to be honest. So
I just pulled it up.
What are they projecting it at the moment?
I guess we only have 57 guys at 1 under or better. So I mean, it could definitely get to 1 under tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, that would be my guess, because like historically, it's been like close to 2, if not 2, I think. So I would say 1 is probably fair, considering the weather looks pretty tame tomorrow too. So I'll call 1. You'll call even. We'll call it half a stroke under par, and we'll meet in the middle.
I think we'll be right there either way. With the weather too, I mean, they should have pretty elite conditions there tomorrow to make some birdies. So I think that pretty much sums us up there. We appreciate you guys all for watching, taking the time to watch this video. Hit the like on your way out if you haven't. But I think that's it for us tonight. For Drew, for Snyder, we're out of here. Run here.